Welcome to the Nick Sadler and Stephen Brewer Show. Today, we will be talking about VK.
Also known as VKontakte.
Yes, Stephen.
Well, first we will begin by discussing the origin of this website known as VK. It was created in Europe, specifically Russia, by a man named Pavel Durov, which we will also be talking about him in the next slide. It was first launched in October 10th, 2006. And there is its symbol right there.
Okay, here's a little about Pavel Durov. Pavel Durov is a Russian entrepreneur, best known as the creator of VK, born in Leningrad and attended the Academy Gymnasium in St. Petersburg, Russia. He wrote books for fun and created VK, but he was dismissed from VK because he refused to hand over information about Ukrainian protesters to the Russian government.
Now we'll be talking about what is this website known as VK.
Please tell me, Stephen, please.
VK, or VKontakte, is a Russian social media website and is very similar to Facebook. Before I go on, I like to say it is almost exactly like Facebook. It's just the Russian version of Facebook, a different name. This website allows you to share photos, private messaging, update status, check the news, add friends, and like other statuses or photos of your friends. Also, can be in groups with your friends or communities. And I also like to state that if you're in America and you speak English and you don't know Russian, then don't get a VK account because you can just get a Facebook account, which is exactly like VK.
Okay, here are some pros and cons. Pros are that it's easy to make an account. Just give your info and get a verification code to your phone. Share your information you want and to who you want to. You can get it on any smartphone. Okay, here are the cons. There are a lot of ads. They target young people. There's GEO targeting, social status, filtering by intercests and sub-intercests, targeting users for a specific community or fan page, targeting travelers, and targeting by browser and OS. And here is a video about VK in the news.
Shut down Facebook for a day and the utter bedlam that would ensue. Well, that very scenario occurred this week in Russia with the very popular social networking site VK. If you haven't heard of VK, it's often described as the European version of Facebook. And with 210 million registered users, it's a formidable counterpart to the American-grown social networking giant. Its name is short for VKontakte, which means in contact in Russian. Though founded in Russia in 2006, it's popular across Europe partly due to the multiplicity of languages available. The site initially had 3 official languages, English, Russian, and Ukrainian, and now has 70 user-generated languages. Interestingly, Russian-speaking users can choose between Soviet and pre-revolutionary versions of the language that have some language tweaks, like telegrams for messages, comrades for friends, etc. Private messages contain a stamp saying past server censorship, which is potentially ironic when you consider what happened this week. As context, back in 2012, Russia enacted a law which allows the government to blacklist websites without a trial, the stated purpose being to protect children from harmful content. On Thursday, VK was added to that blacklist for a few hours, so no one in Russia could access it. An official called it a human error, a claim which seems to belong in air quotes according to some. The founder of VK, Pavel Durov, has clashed with authorities in the past for allowing anti-Putin activists to coordinate protests on the site. And last month he was implicated in a traffic incident, one of these apparently quite common in Russia, that resulted in his home and the VK office being searched by investigators. These problems coincided with a shareholder shakeup, placing a Kremlin-connected firm, United Capital Partners, with a 48% stake in VK. Its president, Ilya Sherbovich, denies being an agent of Putin, as some have called him, but skeptics interpret the management shakeup and the outage as an attempt by the government to censor a social networking site used by hundreds of millions. Are you a VK user? What, if any, changes do you expect from the site? Let us know in the comments for TFN.
That was a video that we had for you guys.
VK in the news.
Issues of VK. There's copyright infringement. And as in the video, it stated it was blacklisted. DDoS attacks, and the founder was dismissed. We also say that because he decided to protect the Ukrainian protesters from the Russian government, which was actually a good thing. That guy did a good thing. And it's also VK is blocked in Italy, which downs his users. And RTR sued VK for litigation because like video copyrights and etc.
Here is the layout to Facebook, and it is very similar.
To VK. This is actually a layout to VK, not Facebook, Mr. Sadler.
It's the same thing, Mr. Brewer.
So, now we're talking about the popularity of VK. It's ranked 20th in the world, and VK is the top most visited site and in post-Soviet countries such as Russia and Ukraine, which is second in those two countries. And it's third in Kazakhstan, and it's first in Belarus. And Putin's happy about that.
Okay, now we're going to show you how to create a VK account if you want to.
So first things first, we are going to put in my name, Steven, and our last name, Brewer, and my sex. Just kidding, male. And then we're hit sign up. And then we gotta get our phone number and be right back. So, sorry about that. That was just the email confirmation code. This is Vladimir Putin. I can't read any of this because I don't understand that language at all. You can see what he posts and everything. So, that's basically it that we really need to know. Like, there's games on it if you feel like playing VK games. So we're just going to go to settings. Close that. So, this is just the settings of this website. Change your password, your email address, phone number, profile ID, and regional settings and appearance. And then, down here, you can delete your profile. So
Which we are going to do right now because we are not in Russia because we live in the United States.
And we don't feel the need to use a VK account if you have a Facebook account. So we're going to delete it right now. Click here. There's reasons you can, like, I have another profile, I don't need this one. It just pops up like that. Nobody comments on my post. I'm worried about my safety for my data. Yeah, you can read that if you want to. Too much time. And other reason, you can just type in, I am American, and, oop, I did that wrong. There we go. Delete profile. So now that we have deleted our profile,
We are done showing you how to use VK.
now go out there and use it.
Yeah,
Or not. The choice is yours.
it would be great if you guys used it out there in the world. You know, just get into my heart and say thank you from the bottom of your heart for listening to us talk through this presentation. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you on our next episode of Nick Sadler and Steven Brewer. We are signing off.